Okay, today we're going to go through what we see in this video, which is house generation in Unreal 5 with Dungeon Architect. I've taken the plugin from the marketplace called Dungeon Architect, and there's a floor plan generator in there. I've heavily modified for this though, so we're going to go through some of the changes that I've done in order to make it do what you're seeing here, which is provide a random seed and generate a whole bunch of rooms. And it'll actually populate these rooms based on what room it is, like bathroom versus kitchen. You can see these props being placed around. Yeah, and here it is. You can see it top down. I'll let this play out. But yeah, we're gonna go through how I got it all set up. Cool. All right, don't forget to like and subscribe. These themes, these bug start, so it goes through each one of these items in order, and it based on certain markers, like as to find here a bed or like a wall location, the ground for the living room, or on a marker that I'll go into later for TV opposite facing, bed placement, yada yada yada. Okay, so what are all these things? These are all nodes. Each one of these is a layer, and the one that's well, further down on the list, so higher in number, will choose. So if you have, you know, living room ground here, and then you have another one all the way down the list. Yes, I know, bug with architect. Okay, so, and we have, let's just say, so got debug start. Down at the end, if we had, for example, living room ground, this marker right here, and we'll just go again, add this one right here, then it's going to choose whatever I want to place here, right? So this actor is bug actor, but it can be any mesh, right? Or it can be a full-blown blueprint actor, doesn't matter. Okay, so that's, so these are, you know, marker names. Go to the one that actually matters. So if I go to kitchen props, we can see kitchen props we've got. Go here. Alright. This is microwave. You can actually generate multiple static mesh here. So this one you can choose attach. That one. And then for this one, generates bridge. That's something. That's the old bridge. This. Anyways, you get the gist. There's an oven. It'll generate, right? It generates based on whatever you put in there. So what are these markers? How do these markers generate? Good question. Oh, actually, before we move on from these are called themes, theme graphs again. Before we move on from the theme graphs, there's a really key aspect here to help drive aesthetics and function of the house and actually make it look okay or good. If you go over to the pattern matching right here, you can see that we've got a pattern match here. What is this? This is actually checking this grid. So this grid, this house can be imagined as a grid. Each one of these is 100 by 100 square. If I click on one of these, look, floor plan 100 by 100. Okay, each one of these, same. So all of these floors have their own grid. Each one of these is a 100 by 100 grid. I could change that, but I found that sort of works the best as far as generating houses go. Okay, so if we click on this pattern matching here, got sink and kitchen ground. Okay, so if we have a sink and if we have a kitchen ground, both of these are true and they exist on this tile, then we're going to do something, right? So actions. We're going to add a kitchen sink, and we're going to remove a sink marker. So this is actually what this is really trying to say is, like, if I have a sink here and it's in the kitchen, then I want to make it a kitchen sink instead of a regular sink, so you can have some variety, right? Okay, so this one, kitchen sink 2x2. This one you can actually check walls here. You can see, so I've got condition. There's a wall here. There's a wall here. And this will actually rotate all the way around based on, you know, based on it trying to fit, right? Okay. So wall, right here we say kitchen sink and ground, kitchen sink and not used. We have a marker called used, and so pretty much if some other item is generated, I usually slap a used marker on there, so I know not to use that tile again. Okay. Okay. So we've got used, not used, and kitchen ground. Okay. But pretty much here we want to add used. So if you see these actions are only going to take place if all these conditions. So this condition wall here, there's a wall here. You see there's something else here. What is this? Not wall, right? We don't want to accidentally generate with like a 2x2 kitchen in the middle of a wall. So this is just saying, hey, I don't want a wall. Okay. So there's lots of these different ones, right? There's corner counters, there's kitchen tile. We're saying replace the ground with the kitchen tile. I think in this one, if it's running, doesn't matter. Okay. So we've got all these different themes, right? And those help generate. I also use themes just in some cases just to run the pattern matcher rule. Right? So if I click on a dungeon, and I hold down here, I think I have something like clear walls. Yeah, clear walls. Okay, so here you go, clear walls. So there's nothing in here, right? Except for whatever comes out of the box for this plugin, Dungeon Architect. If I go over here, and then we can see combine none with living room. So sometimes I found in the generation, like rooms won't even get assigned to grids, so this workaround to make rooms look better, but really this is the heart of the problem needs to be solved. But this is sort of a workaround that I put in place. Brick, none, ground, and we say actions, delete, none, ground. We remove that, and we put living room ground. So we only do that if we're right next to a ground and there's no wall, not a wall used. So I put wall used in like the case of like a portrait. If we're in a portrait, slap a portrait. So we delete the door and wall. So that's just like, hey, we've got a living room that's like attached right to an unused space. We clear the wall. All right, moving on. That's all there is about themes and sort of pattern matchers. So with this Dungeon Architect mod, you can randomize seed, you can build dungeon. So I have a macro on my other screen that just does it at once. So I've randomized the seed, and it rebuilds the dungeon. Okay. What else? Alright, so let's look down here. We've got building size, right? So we can choose our building size. If I want to change this to like 10 by 16, then I can do rebuild dungeon, and we can see we sort of get a more horizontal house, right? If I go over here, got grid size 100, 100. That's each cell represents 100 by 200 by 250. That's how tall. Okay. There's min room size. There's min width, length, max room size. This right here. This one I found that I use. I think this one's actually comes out of the box, and it's sort of interchangeably used between size and length. I've found. So I created another one called in room area. We'll go take a look at the code here. Really, I've heavily modified this floor designer, or floor layout generator. Okay, so max room size, hall width, in room chunk area. Go into all these, but these sort of help drive. If any one of these, like I think about earlier or later, I'll come back to it. But I think the big one is min. I added this one per suggestion of FGen on Reddit from Procedural Generation. Got a really cool project out there. I'll link in the description. all open source. It's OpenGL. Must have decades since I started it back in college. It was a very cool project. Okay, so on room requirements, go here. So I've went through a few different iterations on how to define room, what they are. But after it generates hallways, so right now I have it just generating 2 main hallways. Yeah, this one you can see sort of it goes up and down and then left to right. It's got some weird stuff going on. Weird that I chopped that in 2. Usually it goes straight down the middle and then all the way through to one side, but somehow a bedroom got cut there. Strange. Maybe some other logic I just added. Anyways, going back here, room requirements. Okay, room type living room. So we define, hey, we want a living room. Okay, room count min, room count max, and room chance extra. So this one, this is deprecated. Don't really care about you anymore. Room size requirement Friday. I have to try to rework that too. What else is here? These 2, count min, count max. I usually just one living room. Okay, I can actually say connection count maximum. If you want to define some sort of max connection counts, you can do that. Connection requirement. So we have a connection requirement here. Room actually requires it to be connected to a hallway generated. It happens whenever you're in placement of it. And then let's see, you've got the kit. Find the maximum size there. And that one needs to be connected to the hallway. Okay, we've got a bedroom. Got blacklist, connection, bathroom, hallway. So blacklist, so we've got bathroom cannot be connected. I noticed this at some point where a bathroom generated right next to another bathroom, and so I put in a blacklist, right? So you can't have a bathroom right next to a bathroom. Oh, at least connected to another bathroom. You might have one in a house, right? But you usually don't have them connected. Might be next to each other. Plumbing, but yeah, there's no that would be silly. All right, and then I sort of moved. So that's what I was saying earlier, where I removed the extra weight chance extra. That's deprecated because I've got in favor sort of optional room requirements. So this is sort of just the same, except each one of these are extra, right? So it's going to go through and generate these first, right? So all these collapse off. So it's going to go through and create these first. So, and after it's done assigning those, then it's going to go through and sort of assign a laundry room, a bedroom, and another bedroom, I think. Yeah. Okay. And these event listens here, I'll probably go into this in another video, but these are sort of used to generate these debug names, right, for each sort of I've labeled them. Do that with a post. Dungeon event listener. Okay. So I dive into the code. Yeah, why not? Okay. So I've heavily modified this floor plan builder out of the box. It generate. You can't really describe and label rooms without defining volume, like volume bounds. It's sort of like clear out a space for an area. Maybe it would have been harder to like have volume bounds and then automatically generate those and sort of. Anyways, I chose to do it this way based on some advice I got from FGen from Reddit. Okay, let's take a look. Hey. Up. Okay. Build layout. What sort of came out of the box. Some of these properties were defined before, but this is new. I've defined this. Fine. I'm in here. I'm going through and I'm just getting the room count. Like how many rooms do I need to find that? Here. I've got. So this is out of the box. So this is his code. Build the hallways and intermediate floor chunks, which are rooms. This gets the initial floor. Push it on the stack. Pop it off the stack, and we check our area. Alright, so here we've got a sort of expounded on whether we should create a hallway or not. I've got it. This is the original parameter or condition, and then I've added two more. One is like, do I have enough hallways? And I have. Right. Okay, so and if I should split it, then I split it. Okay. So this splits it up into, you know, chunks based on hallways. So from square to two rectangles around there, and you know, you might cut it off and you might rectangle, and have three different rectangles, and then you fill it up with rooms. That's the next part right here, where I think I've added. Okay, so this is where we've got rooms, so generating rooms. So we've got some random logic here to sort of place rooms. I've expanded upon that to say, all right, do I have enough rooms? Have a random generation chance to the original code to where just like maybe we want to generate an extra room, so that might still take a place, but we're just trying to say set some rules for these rooms. This is the part I don't use. There's room volumes. Good for like if you're using this and you're like want to define like section. Example I saw was pretty building, but I found that this is useful. Okay, and this one, debug. This one I actually created just to have debug chunk representation so I can see like empty rooms, but I go through all the chunks, and if it doesn't have like an assigned, actually this one just goes through all of them and gives it a chunk ID so you can visualize regardless. Okay, so I'm not going to go into that more later, but that's sort of just at a high level. Go over some of the data structures here that I've set up for what I'm doing. So I used to have them all, you know, pushed together in their own in requirements, or as far as the rooms, their sizes, if you remember that. I'll just show it real quick. You know, for all these different, you have like what size they are, right? I also had in here like prop definitions too, which got really nasty really quickly, so I moved that out. And then you've got your four. This is what's in there, what you see in there. As far as in the code right over there, the same exact variables. Then you have, so it's a wrapper. But really, I want to show off. I want to show off the prop requirements. Each one of these has prop requirements. That's how I'm generating like the beds and the stoves and etc. So if I go over here, probably easy. Prop. Okay, so here we go. Prop definitions. Okay, so I've got CDT, prop definition. So we've got max, how many we want. That one's not used. Chance weight 100%, requires forward clearance. This is like, hey, if I have a shower, I don't want to place anything in front of the shower so somebody could walk in, right? You don't want to place a trash can right in front of a shower or right in front of a toilet. That doesn't make sense. Okay, and then we've got some prop placement options we have here. This is a composite data table. Into one of these, you can see here prop name, min max, weight, requires forward clearance, face center of rooms. This one, like if you want like a TV, for example, it should maybe face against the center of the room. Cross placement options, we have a few different ones here that I've configured. Place against corner wall, place against wall, follow along wall, place against door, center of room. Okay, interior, max area. Okay, so this one's like, oh yeah, so this one's where if you have a like a bathtub, right? That's gonna take 2 spots instead of 1, right? So you can see up at the top that got 1, 2, and 2 for like only 1 square for a sink, but it take 2 squares for a bathtub. Okay, oven, fridge, sink, microwave. You know, we have different preference options here. Okay, that's sort of like the overall. I might dive into more Okay. Go off real quick. Save. Bring up this house generation. This will go to the beginning, or maybe the end. Okay, render. Render this. And then. Alright. Click go. Alright, don't forget to like and subscribe. This one, how I've got this set up, we've just got this generating over and over again. And it randomizes the seed and also some size, right? I think the size can go between like 12, 15, X and 12 to 14, Y as well. So it randomly generates that, and then it also randomizes the seed and builds. So and it just does that on repeat, and we've got that attached to a level sequence. I think this level sequence should fly up above. Maybe not. Like and subscribe. Weird. Good. I gotta save this one. I'm gonna save this, so whenever I come back to this, I can troubleshoot this one. I'll look at my log. See that we've got. Could not find chunks for living room and kitchen. Probably because the hallway thing, I would think. Oh, adding requirements, but I could not find the chunk for it. Pretty. I don't know. Alright, that's it. Thanks. Like.